Welcome to the Mentor Studio, where today's thought leaders and leading entrepreneurs inspire and bring real-world ideas that help you take your career to levels you've only dreamed of. Now buckle in. Here's your host, Michael Silvers.
Hi, everyone. This is Michael Silvers with the Mentor Studio. I wanted to welcome you all back. It's a great day. Hopefully you've enjoyed the shows you've been listening to so far. We've had Steve Mashad, who produced Genesis, and Peter Gabriel and Electric Light Orchestra. We've had Scott Carson, who really told us his industry is real estate, with his 500,000 downloads of his podcast. But he really talked about LinkedIn and how you really create a business and move that forward. We've had Mindset. We've talked to one of the largest promoters in the world of events. And we've had people from every industry on really to mentor you, to be on live. I know the podcast is not, but part of the Mentor Studio. So first of all, subscribe to our YouTube channel. But part of the Mentor Studio is the website, www.thementorstudio.com. You can go on there, you can subscribe, and then we're going to have a whole component so you can be part of it and ask questions and actually be on these calls live as we do the podcast. So you get mentoring and you can ask the question after we do the formal part. So again, we wanted to welcome you all on, and I'm so excited today. For somebody who's been in the industry a long time, I always talk about, I'm about maybe at 5,000 hours for doing these and webinars, and I'm still a child compared to so many out there who have done a lot of productions, a lot of movies, a lot of TV, podcasters who've been on for years and years and years. And with that being said today, our guest today, she has been in the film industry for many, many, many years. She'll tell her a little bit about her background. She's professional, she's brilliant, she's smart, she knows what she does, and she's also a businesswoman. And she's also always learning, which is why it's great for the Mentor Studio, because you're always learning. When she's not in a movie or a production or running around with the kids, she's always learning. And that learning part is really critical. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Mohini. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and Michael, thank you so much. I'm so excited that I could share my Indian movie experiences, as it's commonly called Bollywood, and what it was like working in movies there. And I'm very happy to share whatever I've learned so far.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. If you could tell us a little bit about your background, how many movies you've been in, and then we'll sort of dissect how that all works. For those of you, I know you've asked, how do you even get into the industry, or how does one start, or how does one live within the industry? Well, we will talk about that between this show and several shows coming up. But if you could tell us a little bit about your background, that would be great.
Yes. So my name is Mohini again, and it's Mohini. And I'm from south of India, which is called Chennai. It's one of the 4 major cities. And so India is huge. India is huge, and we have 22 different states with 21 movie industries, with 21 different languages and 103 dialects. So It's huge. And when I started acting, I was 13 years old, 13, and I started acting in my 9th grade annual holiday. I was very particular that I'm just going to give it a shot and see how it works out, because I always believed in plan B. Especially in our industry, you need to have plan B for everything. If your makeup didn't turn out right, if there's a traffic jam, if there's a problem in the studio, you need to always have plan B. So in the very beginning, I had a plan B. So I thought I'm going to try acting movies. And if that's not going to work out, I'm going to become a doctor. I know some of you might ask, what is the connection between movie industry and being a doctor? There's no connection, and that's why I loved it. It's going to be 2 different things altogether, and I love to learn. I love to read, and I was an Indian classical dancer, and I was trained from the age of 5 in something called Bharatanatyam, and that involves tons of expressions. We need to learn tons of expressions. And it makes you very agile. It makes your body very agile. It makes your mind very agile. And there's another thing I hear these days, like some actress or actor tried doing a character, and it took 2 months for them to get into the character, and it took 6 months for them to get out of the character. You know, I never wanted to do that. But I wanted to be a method actress. But I always wanted to remember it is acting at the end of the day. I didn't want to lose my individuality. I didn't want to lose the core of who I am. You know, I always wanted to be happy, joking, friendly. Because I'm doing a pathos scene or because I'm doing a sad scene, I didn't want to just roll over and cry the whole day and all those things. So I always had a plan B. And by the grace of God and through a hard work, through a wonderful planning, my first movie was released in Tamil. It's a South Indian language. And the movie industry is pretty big. We have a huge movie industry there with a very good turnover. And my first movie was a huge hit. It was a huge hit. And as you all know, Indians are very spiritual, right? We are very spiritual beings in the planet. So they had to control the audience from worshipping me in the screen. They had to say, please don't show, don't throw flowers on the screen.
Right.
Don't show the, the fire, which we call Aarti. Don't show, she's just a small little, young girl, and don't go near the screen. So they had to control the audience so much. So it was a super duper hit. And I was known for my eyes. So I sometimes think I would have been known for something else. Like, she speaks the dialogues, delivers the dialogues very well. She dances very gracefully. All those things came later, but it was my eyes. Indians have dark eyes. Either it's brown or black most of the time. So I had green eyes. And so that was very well noticed. So they started calling me the cat-eyed girl or the green-eyed girl. And I started getting tons of movies after that, so I didn't have to go for plan B. And my friends always tease me because of that. The Indian population kept growing. It did not come down because I wasn't a doctor.
Right.
So I kept continuing, and my second movie was in another language altogether. It is called Telugu, another state altogether, different genre of making movies. So while in Tamil we believed, a middle stand. Like, we have to be glamorous, but we also had to have a lot of acting potentials. And there is a term in my industry called a one-take artist, a single-take artist. So at any given day, if there are 4 artists in a particular frame, all 4 of us try to be a single-take artist. That was like a must when I grew up. And actually, you're right, I grew up literally in the industry. When I was 13, I started acting. So some people say, oh, I lost my childhood, I couldn't go for the movies, or I think I had a better thing. I always believed in one thing: look at life positively. And when life hands you lemon, I know you all have heard that we need to make lemonade. I would say make some more martinis too. Make some more, salsa. Do everything what you can do with lemon. Just that multi-focusing into how I can make this happen, how I can live and let live, how I can have my cake and eat it too. That was very big in my mind when I grew up. And a lot of privacy issues and everything, but I would say I laid the ground rules. I said I want to be able to go to the supermarket, I want to be able to go to the movies, but there were always friends who would protect me from the crowds. There were always, my staff, like my chauffeur, who would double up as a security guy. My hairdresser, my makeup man, everybody would double up as a security guy, and they would help me. So when I started acting in Tamil, I was introduced to this glamour personified media. You cry, you be beautiful. You are doing a scene as if you're coming fresh out of your shower, you need to still be beautiful. You are sleeping and you're waking up in the morning, that is the concept of the scene, you would still need to be beautiful. So I was learning all those things there, and I think it really helps me till today.
I have just a quick question, because I know you've been in over like 90 movies. Is that correct? 100.
Before I took a break.
Wow, 100 movies. Plus, I know you've been in TV shows. But you said something that was actually very interesting, because it sounds like you stayed grounded. that you were able to make some of those decisions. And do you think that's from your own personal, obviously there's spirituality around it, but you're just the way you are? Do you think that was you got that from your parents or family? Where did that come from? And what kept you that way?
My parents, mainly. I need to give all the credit goes to my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an Indian. So we had this habit of listening to our parents. Even now, I call my parents and I ask them about any major decision. I go through with them. I go through the whole thing, and they would give me their opinion, and I take it very seriously. And that has helped me quite a bit. And my mom used to always tell me, sorry, that was my email coming.
No, it's all good.
Used to always tell me, you are Mohini only in front of the camera. Once the camera is switched off, you are you. And sometimes that was very hard for me to maintain. That means no special food, no special diets, no bed coffee or no tantrums, no acting like a spoiled brat. You do everything what others do at home. And that involved my younger brother. So it was my mom made sure that everybody treated me normally. And it all came from them. It is also my staff, who worked for me. They were all from very, very wonderful families. So they would always give me an opinion an actress would want to hear. At the same time, they would tell me the pros and cons. So it's basically my mom used to always tell me, well, if you're ready to take the compliments, you also need to take all the other minor stuff also, all the negative stuff also. Just compliments wouldn't work. Compliments would not shape you to be a better actress. So I had one actress actually walk up to tell me, a very senior actress, and we all love her, walk up and tell me, Mohini, you need to be beautiful even when you cry. The audience, they are not paying you money and buying the film tickets to see an ugly face when you cry. So go stand in front of the mirror and practice to be beautiful, to look beautiful when you cry. Watch all the creases in your face. See what is beautiful and what is not beautiful. And try to maintain that. So it was all learning. The groundedness came from my parents. The groundedness came from my producers, directors, all the actresses who I worked with. Because I started fairly young. While all the other girls were learning how to put their lipstick, I had to learn everything. Do my hair, maintain my costumes, and look beautiful when I cry and all those things, right? So everybody helped me this, and it was a wonderful, amazing experience to be an actress. And I'm a little surprised when people tell me, oh, we were stressed out, we were depressed, we got into this character, and the negativity of the character, is affecting us. We had to go to a psychiatrist, I'm really surprised. I'm very surprised because everything has a boundary and everything does very well within that particular boundary. So laying your rules much ahead of you starting to work is very important.
I think that's a great point because it's the same. That goes across business and acting and being a parent, right? There's boundaries the whole way through. And I think that's a really interesting concept that you had that really good grounding, but you also sounds like you had a lot of mentors along the way. You mentioned producers and people you worked with that were really willing to mentor you. And we'll definitely be talking more about that. But when you got going, and we know at the moment, sounds like, there we go. You had a really noisy background for a minute.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all, this is what we always say. Right now, these are the greatest shows in the world because these will live on podcasting forever during a pandemic, and people are doing what it takes right now just to get it done. That's what you're doing. You're with your family. You're there for the time being. You're in the lobby of a hotel at the moment, I'm gathering. And a lot of times I do my podcast sitting outside, because it's about being really just who you are right now. People are really looking for that. So don't even think about that. And by the way, any of you want to start podcasts, just be yourself right now. It's not about the studios. Even look at E-Entertainment, which is doing a lot of the stuff from the homes. They don't have 3 camera shoots. They have literally their iPhones looking right at them. with nothing in the background. They're in their own apartments and people are loving it. I don't know if they'll go back to the studios at this point, from what I'm hearing, because there's not the big cost the same way there used to be. But going back to what we were talking about, if you really take a look at your grounding and everything that you did from that standpoint, if somebody though was to get wanting to be an actress or an actor right now, and realizing the studios and everything will open back up and it's going to be a little different for a while, but it will be, one thing like Hollywood, I'm sure Bollywood does the same thing, they get just back to normal. They're good at getting back to normal. What would you advise somebody starting right now? What is some advice you could be? I want to be an actor or an actress. So we know how it's not easy. It's not what it's about. And we also know the American industry is different than the Indian industry. But from the Indian perspective, how would I start? What should I do? What classes should I take? Can you give any advice on that?
Disciplining. Disciplining is big time. Disciplining and being humble. Because there have been so many people who have achieved a ton of things in their lives at their particular point of time, ahead of us. So respecting that there have been all these geniuses in our industry, being humble is very, very important. And disciplining as far as getting up on time, getting ready to the shoot on time, reaching there on time, and not having any airs about you, so that the director or the producer or the assistant directors can approach you freely. Because there is, you were mentioning about mentoring. It's not that I always had 10 people around me who would continuously mentor to me. Mm-hmm. Mentoring is your ability to pick up good things as you go. Learn good things from people as you go. And make it a point, in your head that, I like this way of working. I like this point of view. I like this particular way of being very disciplined. So I'm going to take that. And not letting success reach your head, but let success reach your heart for sure, so that it will make you more grateful. Not only your parents let you to do what you want, or your friends are there to support you, or your staff is there to help you, but each and every person who worked in the movie helped you to be a success, to be a phenomenon. So that thing. And I would say, as an Indian, for our Indian movies, dance is very important. We all have so many songs and dance and all those things in the movie. And dance not only helps you to stay agile, helps you to be slim, but it also helps you to be graceful. And grace is a must, because there is someone watching you. They have left everything what they did behind to sit that 1.5 hours or 2.5 hours in our industry to watch you. So you need to keep that particular guy or that particular lady in your mind and make sure that their experience is useful for them, fruitful for them. So choosing those kind of movies, choosing those kind of characters and getting into the character, and remember to be able to get out of the character as well when the movie ends. So acting comes in various different ways, right? First, you need to understand, you need to be able to be empathetic. When you're empathetic, you can put yourself in other person's shoes, and that helps you to form the character in your mind. To think how they would think, to act how they would act, to dress up how they would dress up. So being empathetic is so important. And the training, when I was acting, I did not go through any acting training, but I've done all spectrum of roles, right? From a madwoman to a police inspector, to a doctor, to an FBI. So right from the walk to the way you look at the camera, the way you pick up your shades of your lipstick to eyeliner to your eyeshadow is very important. Right? You can't say you're an FBI and have your nails painted red and have a red color lipstick or something like that. You need to have that integrity in your mannerisms, in your body, the way you dress up and everything. So right now, I would say, from what I'm looking around, I think a training in an acting background is so important.
That's great. No, that's great advice. And it's, I love what you say though about being grounded, because there are so many people that try to break into the industry, and we know right away if it's all about the ego, or you're just doing it because you're trying to make a name and it's not the love of the industry or the love of being an actor. And I think, you know what I'm saying?
True, absolutely. If you don't love your profession, if you don't love your career, it wouldn't love you back.
Mm-hmm.
And if your career doesn't love you back, your profession does not love you back, I don't infer that as being successful. So if you don't give your 100% to your work, then it's never going to happen. And that means, again, getting back to disciplining, not partying till midnight and waking up late or waking up with a puffy face, waking up with red eyes, and then letting your staff worry about the rest of the things, right? Oh, my heroine's eyes is, the actor's eyes are red. I need to give some ice packs and all those things. Talk to the cameraman to avoid a close-up. Why go through all these things? You have a shoot, you sleep early, you stay fresh, rehearse your lines, and get to know your co-artists, get to know your technicians, because every technician is a creator. An artist is a very small percentage of the creativity which is going on in the movie industry. Very, very small percentage of the entire creativity. So there are other people, mainly the director, the captain of the ship, as we would call him. Get to know him. Get to know his style of working. Get to know how you can help his creativity. How you will not deter it, how you will not dampen the whole thing, right? So disciplining, whole time disciplining.
That's fantastic. No, I love it. It's such an important part of anything that we do in our lives, right? And that's why this goes across boundaries. That's why, when you talk about mentoring or you talk about being, you've been in the industry a long time, so you are absolutely what's considered a mentor. And for that, and you're probably still doing it within your own life. And we'll talk more about that on future shows, because I think that mentoring part is really big. I think that discipline part, because people, I'll be honest, especially in this country, there's a tendency of thinking discipline, but I want to be me and I want to do it my way. And then it becomes me. You've lost the concept of really what discipline means. So, but the one thing I want to get into too, because I know this question always comes up, and this again, these shows go worldwide. But for the audiences that don't know Bollywood as well, why is dance so integral? You talked about the being in shape, and I understand, but why is dance so a big part of the movies? Can you talk a little bit more about that? Or when did that start?
Dance has always been an integral part of India.
Yeah, okay.
So we have so when I say classical dance, it's not just that one ballet. It's not just that, one salsa or whatever that is. But in South India alone, we have 4 different versions of classical dance. In Northern India, we have something called Kathak. And dance is so important in our culture because I believe Indians are basically very artistic, very creative. And we attach a lot of spirituality to the art point of view. So if there is a dance, it always speaks about your spirituality, to whatever faith you belong to whatever God you belong to. So right from the birth till someone dying, there is dance. In the entire world, I can say, in my culture where I grew up, in Tamil Nadu, I speak Tamil. So people dance in front of a pyre, in front of a funeral. And sometimes I find oh my God, if someone comes and sees this, they're going to think we are a bunch of crazy people, crazy mourners, dancing. But it's a celebration of life. At the end of the day, it's a celebration of life. And how you want to express it depends on your culture, where you grew up and everything. And how we express is by songs and dance. And in our movie industry, every song is created for that particular purpose. So in a year, I can say just in India alone, there are about at least 200,000 new songs in 1 year. And everything is being choreographed. Everything is being choreographed in its own special way and everything, because we believe big time in celebrating life. Every part of life. Marriage, attending puberty. That's being celebrated as well, because it's a very important stage in a woman's life. Sorry for the noise in the background.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
So it's very important. And birth of a person, death of a person, marriage anniversary, everything is so important, and we believe in celebrating. And this is how we express songs and dance, because art does not need a language. Anyone can dance, anyone can nod for a song, anyone can enjoy that background rhythm, that music, the drums. So art does not need a language, and that is why I think I'm speaking to a bigger audience in America today. I'm from Indian industry, but art does not have any language. An artist is not limited by anything at all.
That's right. And that's great what you just, I'd love to, when we have, one of the next shows, I'd love to have you back, obviously, and dive into that deeper. Mohini's also going to, yeah, they're all going, yes. Also, we're going to have Mohini, we're going to take a look at some live products that you can spend time with her, because I think it's really important. There's something between what you just said, between dance, but you do it for life. And I think we need a lot of life giving right now. I think it's we always do, but I think that's an important piece. But that way we can also, on some of the podcasting shows, we'll also take a look at the business, because you're very much a businesswoman. And, the business of, and the background, and really move from there and really create sort of I think that love of life and dance and be of service. You're also very much of service, everything that you do. So, we'll talk more about that too, because I think if we're not of service, then why do we do what we do? It doesn't make sense. As an actress, you were always of service to those that were coming into the theater. You mentioned that. And I think that's a big piece. Any last words before we go today? And so I'll turn off the recording and the guys can ask you a couple of questions quickly, and then, I'll let you go back to your family and head off. But any last questions before I stop the podcast part?
Yes.
I mean, any last responses?
Yes, never stop reinventing yourself. If you don't reinvent, we are as good as a piece of furniture or a piece of a log. So we have to keep reinventing ourselves. We have to keep continue to be creative about our everyday life. And, I hear so many people becoming depressed these days. And the depression leads into other mental conditions, If you see in any bipolar or dementia, Alzheimer's, it all starts with depression. And depression is because you feel stuck in one place. Reinventing yourself, being creative even about your everyday activity. I think that is a big key for mental health and being an interesting person and having good, healthy people around you. So keep reinventing.
Keep reinventing. That will be the word for the day. And I agree with you, keep reinventing. So thank you so much for being on today. Thank all of you for listening. If you're driving in your cars, if you're flying, I know not as many of you are flying right now, but you will be. If you're with your family, you took this half an hour to be with us. We really appreciate it. From myself, Michael Silvers, and the Mentor Studio, please go to our YouTube channel, The Mentor Studio, and like us and subscribe. It's always wonderful. You can also go to www.thementorstudio.com. We're actually reinventing that, and that will be launching, but we're keeping it very basic because the show's there's going to be a bigger platform we're going to be living within. It's been a great day, Mohini. Thank you so much for your time and taking your time away from your family to be with us today. We look forward to more shows, and really this subject I think is brilliant because there's so many people that this industry becomes something they don't understand, they can't touch, or they want to be part of it, and they have no idea how to be part of it. And I think you've given them so much to just start on. I think that's great. And to see who you really are. And after 100 movies, you're still you.
Thank you so much, Michael. And thank you so much, Mentor Studios and all the people who are listening. Actually, they are a part of our industry. They are a part of our daily lives. Everybody who are listening, who are watching movies, who are in any way connected with the movie industry, even by going to the theaters, they keep us going. They put the smile back into our face. And as you said, people who are not flying, they'll be flying very soon. Let's keep up the hope at this time.
Let's do that. All right, everybody, I wanted to thank you again for the Mentor Studio, whether it's your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're listening, from all the way to Australia, over to India, South Africa, London, wherever you are. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening. We'll talk to you all very soon. Goodbye, everyone.
We're honored that you invested time with us today at the Mentor Studio. Now, don't be greedy. Share this knowledge bomb with all your dope peeps on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Actually, we'll even pay you to do it. To get the deets, please check out thementorstudio.com.